Right, this is a my little jig that I've made to do put the grouses on the chains. All it is all measured up to centre. Perhaps you don't just pull that. Gotta watch it, it's pretty hot at the moment. Just done those two. Put that one on there, and then you tuck that one down like that, and then you weld it. I'm just gotta pull that down. Here we go. And then you just weld it. And the other ones I've done one over here. I've got most of it all set up. Just going to do this side now. The only big problem I had was when I welded this piece here up, I twisted the chain, so I had to heat the frame up and just twist that back a little bit. There's the first track. I've got one problem with this track. I've still got to make a little wee tiny steel roller for in here, and that's going to be a one-piece roller made out of 40mm steel, and it's going to have these little brass bushes each side, hole drilled all the way through, capped both sides with a grease nipple, so the grease nipple will stay inside that one. These ones have got grease nipple holes drilled into there and come out through the middle of the wheel, and grease nipple holes on the other side. I'm not sure I'll put grease nipples in here because you can just put the pointed grease gun in here to give it a spin. It's not going to get covered in crap or mud or anything. Here's my other dilemma. The climb angle of the front of the tracks, because of the climb angle, I think if you can see down here, they don't touch the grouses, so I'm going to have to redo a new wheel so that we get contact onto that plate. So that wheel's 71mm or something, and it has to be at least 80, so I'll cast another couple of wheels and do two of probably 82, 83 to get them touching those plates. When I run the chain round, it climbs up them nicely, but I think that I would end up wearing away the chain lining thing up the front. These here, I've got my little treads on, and all I've done is just TIG welded on the back, and then on the front I just do a little TIG weld each side on the front, maybe one in the middle I think, but it's not going to, they're not going to come off in a hurry, not with all that bloody weld across the back end of it anyway. That it's the front that pushes. I don't think it'll come off. There's where we are so far. Believe it or not, the chain is so steady that when I'm rolling it, it tracks on this wheel anyway. Even if I didn't have that roller there, I think it would stay on there. Because even if you were turning and you pushed that hard, it could only go. The chain could only come off this roller by 10mm or so, and then it would track back into the middle again. So I don't think that we're going to have any trouble. The only really trouble is when you're in reverse, and there's no track on the reverse up here, and then it could come off the top. So if you put one down there, it would keep it up for when you're doing the reverse. Other than that, we're getting close. I think when I take it off, I've got to take the tops of those teeth down a little bit more too, because they're touching the actual grouser plates. This thing here worked out quite well. I'll come around this side and I'll show you. This one's not under tension now, it's only that one, but that's not right out to this end, because when you pull this end out a little bit, which I can't, there's a lot of tension on that. That actually comes back a bit, and there's tons of adjustment at the back for it. I'd probably adjust that up a little bit more if I was using it. Probably up to about there, I think. But that's the actual chain tensioner, is the weight of that thing. It's not light. Well, the next job after I get this track here made and these treads welded onto the grousers, I'll start putting plating. Put some plate in the bottom, a plate across the front, and put some framework in there to put the gearbox onto. I'll tell you what, this thing here, that's not light, it's getting heavy now.